What's going on, guys? This is BunnyMuffins. Today we are going to go over the best comps that no one is playing right now, and I guarantee you these comps actually are the best ones. So let's start off with the first one. So in the S tier we have the Veigar 3-star comp. I feel like this is the strongest comp possible in the game. After that we have the legendary comp, and then to follow that up we have our A tier, A for America. We have the American School System comp, American number 2 NYC edition, and then the B tier, the Coomer Comp, and then the Oscar Gnar comp. Pretty much I've been lying up to you guys about what the best comps have been so far, because really the best one, if you want to actually get a TFT team that beats everything else, you have to go with the 28 version of 3-star Veigars. So to do this, it takes a really long time to do. You have to get to around stage 55. Depending on how your econ is, you could reach it at around stage 54. But that is the fastest that I could come up with this with. You also want to make sure that you have one tank Veigar that I have up here in the front, one damage, and one kind of like QSS kind of healing in order to heal your entire team up. So the way to play this comp is, of course, you need a Yordle start. You want to reroll at level 5 for all your 1-cost 3-star Yordles. That's going to be Poppy and Ziggs. And then after that, you want to follow it up at level 6, reroll for Corki and Lulu. And then level up to 7 for Vex and Gnar, and then you go ahead and farm your Veigars. Important note, again, you will need to collect your 3-star Veigar before putting them on your bench, because you do need the Yordle trait active in order to get all the Veigars onto your bench. Another thing is that you need to have 19 Force of Nature to make this build work, so just make sure you pick up spatulas on the carousel on your way there. Some of the counters to this comp is round damage, and this is mainly for your opponents, not for you, because during stage 7 at least, you take 20 damage per round, so you need to make sure your opponents have a lot of HP before you go for this build. And then the other counter is winning too early, because I'm telling you guys, nothing can beat this comp right here. Next one we have is a legendary comp. This one's like a little easier to play, I'd say. So we have Tahm Kench and Galio in the front. You want Silco right behind them. Jace is another solid unit. And then in the back, you want Zeri, Victor, Jinx, and Kai'Sa as your DPS. So a couple notes here. Fast 9, of course, you want to reach level 9 by around 5-1, and then get all the legendary units. Another thing to do is to make sure you have the 2 girls, Jinx and Kai'Sa, alone with the Chalice, because this maximizes the value of the 1 cup. Next thing you need to do is put all your belts on Tahm Kench, because you're going to be feeding him so much that he needs all those belts to support himself. Going on into the A tier. So first we have the American School System comp. As you guys can see here, there's like, you know, the jocks and like whatever, they're the nerds over here. And then we have Jinx with a gun over there, and we also have Silco in the side here. So one thing to make sure is Silco can get a little handsy, so you want to keep him at least 4 squares away from all schools and playgrounds. And in case you're wondering, like sometimes you don't get Ornn items on Jinx, what item do you want to run instead? Well, something like Hextech Gunblade or Rapid Fire Cannon will do just fine there. The way to counter this is probably mental health awareness in schools, probably not bullying people for petty reasons, and also just not being a teenager. Now onto the America comp number 2. This is the NYC edition. As you guys can see here, we have the 2 Colossus up there, and we have... Okay, maybe I should not have made that one. Okay, let's go on into the B tier. If you guys want to read out the full descriptions, go on to my website, bunnymuffins.lol/meta. So next up, we have something like more than low-hanging fruit here. We have the Coomer comp. We have Ezreal. He's got his Hand of Justice, and then I couldn't help but notice, but like, dude, the shape of Infinity Edge, I don't know. Let me know if that is a little too obvious to you guys, but let's, yeah, I don't know why they sexualize so many characters in video games. Ooh, I'm actually missing Seraphine here. Give me 1 second. And never mind, we are getting out of that. So let's skip down to the next comp. We have the last comp of the day. We had 6 comps today. This one is called the Oscar comp. So I have the Gnars here in the back. That is the audience. We have our Clapio build as usual. He's got a Hand of Justice. And, you know, the requirements of this build is having your wife sleeping around with your son's friends. And then after that, you need to make a joke about a health condition. And then the way to play this is laugh at the joke first, and then go up on stage and then smack the person who made the joke. So he's a little bruised up there. So that's why we have the mutant buff there, because he kind of changed his reaction during the course of the joke. And essentially, like, Senna's for the streets, and she likes to silence people with a Shroud of Stillness. So that is going to be it there. I honestly think that this part was fake, because, I don't know. Chris Rock, I feel like if he gets smacked in the face, you would react in some way, either defensively or aggressively, but he kind of just sat there. Maybe it's like a shock instinct, but if someone hit me in the face, I'd either, like, try to push the guy or something, or like run away. One of the two things, like fight or flight, you know? But just as an FYI, in the A tier, they were a little edgy over there, so do follow me on Twitter to make sure I do not get a twit longer written against me. And if it does happen, you guys will be there to ratio the other people, because that is apparently how you win internet arguments in this day and age. But apart from that, I'll be updating this tomorrow, so do check again here. But I will see you all later.